This is the OPORD for Operation Bobcat Lightning. This is the task order for first squad of first platoon of Charlie Company. This is Alpha Team. The task and purpose for first squad is to attack to destroy Objective Phantom in order to deny enemy influence on the battalion main efforts. Of Squad 1, Alpha Team is the supporting effort 1, where they support by fire in order to enable the main effort's movement and attack. Supporting effort 2, Bravo Team, is to isolate as they are the security unit in order to prevent any enemy influence on the attack. The key weapon systems for both Alpha and Bravo Team are the M249 and the M320. The main effort for this mission is the Gun 1 of Weapons Squad, which is attached to our squad. Their task and purpose is attack to destroy the enemy influence and attack to destroy Objective Phantom in order to deny enemy influence on the battalion main effort. Key weapon systems of Weapon Team is the M240 Bravo. For the GTAO, we are bounded. This is the GTAO for AO Ronin, the area that we are working in. We are bounded by the 37th Northern, the 31st Northern, the 17th Easting, as well as the 10th Easting. The trace for our bounds is the Beinan River, as well as the Haiyan Mountain Range, as well as Route Camaro in the north and Route Camaro to the south. This creates a circle for AO Ronin. There is one platoon of air support down to the south down here. However, as their response and trigger is only a USF battalion or higher, we do not have to worry about them. Indirect fires, there is one battery in the vicinity of Taitung, this area, and they can fire into the AO at a time of 10 minutes since trace. Their ID and their trigger is only of higher than squad units though. And so as long as we stay undetected, we will not experience fire from that battery. There is, on Objective Phantom, a PP-87 mortar, as well as a mortar team. They fire at a daily pattern of 0300 to 0800 and 1500 to 1900 hours. They can attack anywhere within the AO within 5 minutes of trace. There is also one motorized platoon of infantry across the river that can attack into the AO within 40 minutes. There is a platoon of ADA PGZ 04A and a platoon suspected of HQ-16. However, these both are only fires upon aerial units in the area, and we do not expect any of those. For the GTAO, we have two types of highly restricted terrain, the mountain range and the river, which we cannot cross, either one of these. These canalize our routes to being inside. There is restricted terrain along the rivers towards the center, as high amounts of precipitation make it so that movement along is almost impossible. Both of our avenues of approaches try to attack the key terrains, and the enemy will try to keep these key terrains, as well as maintain order along Route Camaro. There is not much cover and concealment in this area for us to use other than altitude and trace amounts of forestation and green in the area. This means that cover and concealment will be limited to micro terrain, and we have to seek it out when we can to stay out of the sight of the people. The weather in the area has illumination decreasing over the next few days, at which point the 2nd of September will be almost nothing. This favors us as we have better NVGs and thermals than the enemy, and we can move better at night. The wind would allow for any aerial assault units to come into the AO, however, we aren't worried about that. Precipitation, cloud cover, and temperature and humidity are all very high, either 65 to 75% precipitation every single day, 98 to 99% cloud cover every day, and 83 to 89% humidity with hot temperatures throughout. This will allow for either fog or lots of amounts of precipitation to fall within the AO, covering our movement through it. This will allow for easier assaults onto the objective and allow us to take key terrain. Our unit faces an enemy motorized infantry platoon at around 90% strength, which has roughly 35 to 40 packs. Their main job is to control this area by occupying it in order to deny our movement through it. The mortar team also wants to disrupt any movement to the east, and we want to attack that mortar team. The squad of recon is looking to screen, so any movement through will be traced by that recon team. So we have to move fast or silently. As seen here, we have 3rd Squad controlling the intersection down here along Route Camaro, of which the headquarters and 2nd Squad will occupy a small town. And then we have 1st Squad looking to disrupt any of our movement along Route Camaro. They highly value Route Camaro, and there's very little attack and any defense trying to get after this small team for the mortar. We would only need to get past the screening recon squad. For the enemy at our level, we have a squad whose job is to control this area in order to deny our movement. They have one QLG-10 attached to a regular weapon system. Right there. They have one QBU-88, which is right here. They have one QJZ-89 attached with the CSK. They have one DZJ-08, which is right here, trying to attack any attack along Route Camaro. And they have one QJY-88 down here, attacking any flank element. All of these are in order to either deny movement in this area or protect the small team for the mortar on Objective Phantom. Any of their high value targets is any of our command team. They want to take any of those in order to make us lose our effective command system and disrupt any of our operations in this area. The enemy capabilities, their intelligence is that they are not aware of any of this unit, and the air not being able to come into the area makes it a further weakness as they do not know this area or our forces within the area. This allows us to make further attacks onto their point and maybe even get around their defenses in order to attack that area. However, for movement and maneuver, they control the Route Camaro as well as in many smaller routes within the AO. This means that they have high speed of movement and maneuver, and can move freely whenever they choose, which we do not have. Fires, they have one howitzer battery and one mortar team being here, the howitzer battery being further out. We do not have to worry about the howitzer as they will not be tracking our position, but however, if we get into a long attack right here without getting out, that means that they may start firing on our position. Protection, there is 1st Squad and HQ up here, and they have established positions in a village and have multiple positions along Route Camaro through 3rd Squad. These established positions will be harder to attack, and so we need to attack down here where they do not have established positions and take advantage of that to get rid of the mortar team on Objective Phantom. Sustainment is that the enemy has a avenue of sustainment through the support units, as well as this is their occupied territory. Command and control, the HQ is very well centered between all of the units, which allows for easy communication and travel between units. purpose of the enemy operation is to occupy and control the AO in order to disrupt any attack that we may have. They will use area defense in order to do this, as they occupy the area and want to keep it that way. They want to maintain control over objectives and over Route Camaro in order to allow their freedom of movement and maneuver through the AO. And any of their enablers will support by fire into the AO. They could also choose to consolidate towards the bridge, given that they did not like their positions down here, or they could choose to more heavily fortify the mortar team towards here. For friendlies, we are trying to disrupt any areas, and this is first squad is the main effort, trying to attack and to destroy on objective Phantom. There are other companies that are trying to attack the objective up here, but our focus is on the mortar team down here in order to make the battalion main effort over here goes better. Second platoon, as well as Alpha Company and Bravo Company, both need to consolidate in order to be prepared for further operations. This concludes my brief.